Yo, at the end of the day, Jay-Z and Beyonce, like honestly, bro, like yo, everybody moving and they hit because I'm about to talk some about Jay-Z and Jay-Z.
Yo, Ray J is in the news again today, and honey, I'm liking Ray J, regardless of how he might not be getting residuals from our show.
Rest in peace to Ali. Rest in peace to Left Eye. Michael Jackson, I see. Just as soon as I, she knows. She knows. And I know she knows. And I know she knows.
Because in a world where there's a lot of darkness and a lot of scary
She knows.
And lastly, because I feel like there's so many goated artists. This is my last time up here. Beyonce. Woo.
And so well thought out, and so beautiful and soul bearing, and we all got to see another side to you that you don't always let us see, and we appreciate that. And all us artists here, we adore you. You are our life.
But wait, wasn't this all around the time when Aaliyah and Beyonce's solo career was struggling? Jam on your horn now, that's...
What if everything you thought you knew about Beyoncé was only part of the story? Right now Ray J has the internet buzzing with claims that are making people question his past ties to the Carters. The deeper this goes, the more uncomfortable it gets, so buckle up because this isn't just gossip, it's a narrative some believe was never meant to surface. Ray J has been speaking out a lot lately, and this time his focus is on the Carters. What's surprising isn't just what Hez saying, it's how different his tone is. Now for years,
Bad with his latest live rant, and they're saying this time his sights are set on Beyonce and Jay-Z, and I'm not mad at them. They're saying that the singer, rapper, actor stirred up quite the conversation yesterday, honey, after calling out Beyonce and Jay-Z, honey, but allegedly y'all not speaking to his R&B icon sister Brandy, baby, during that Los Angeles and New York stop to the Boys Mind tour.
I don't like it, and I love you, Jay, and I love you, B. Please. Like, you guys are the biggest two stars in the world. Yo, at the end of the day, Jay-Z and Beyonce, like honestly, bro, like yo, everybody moving and they hit because I'm about to talk some about Jay-Z and Beyonce.
Having some words again about Brandy and the Brandy and Monica tour, the Boys Mind tour. He says that he wants Jay-Z and Beyonce to show Brandy some more love when they come through the tour. Let's take a listen.
He publicly supported both Beyonce and Jay-Z, often defending them and even thanking them in interviews. That's why this sudden shift has people raising eyebrows. Recently has been making bold statements across the board, even hinting at serious legal theories involving other celebrities. But what's really catching attention are the rumors about his own past. Some stories circulating online suggest that after his well-known situation with Kim Kardashian, there may have been a private connection involving Beyoncé. Claims that many find hard to believe but can't ignore. Things get even more intense with insiders allegedly backing parts of these rumors. One name that keeps coming up is Jonathan Hay, known for working with Rihanna during her early Roc Nation era. According to what's being shared online, he has echoed some of these claims and even suggested that certain situations involve dynamics far different from what the public sees, allegedly including Jay-Z. Another layer to this story is the idea that Ray J's past defense of the Carters may not have been random. Some narratives claim there was a deep...
Yo, at the end of the day, Jay-Z and Beyonce, like honestly, bro, like yo, everybody moving and they hit because I'm about to talk some about Jay-Z and Jay-Z, Beyonce, everybody ran into the other room. They like, Ray J crashed it out. No, I'm just saying, like, to pull up, like, when they come to the show, come say what's up to Brandy too, Jay-Z and Beyonce. That's it, like, because, like, we big fans. We got our family in there, our cousins, and we know y'all there, and we love y'all, and we look up to y'all. For y'all to come to every one of Brandy and Monica's shows and never say what's up to B, and take all the pictures and all that. I mean, it just, I don't like it. And I love you, Jay, and I love you, B. Please, like, you guys are the biggest two stars in the world. So we know you there, just, you know. Y'all walk by Brandy
Per
rooms.
reason behind his loyalty, with suggestions that insiders have long known more than thieves said publicly. What's especially striking is how openly these claims are being discussed now. Not long ago, speaking this boldly about figures like the Carters would have been almost unthinkable when Jaguar Wright previously made controversial claims linking them to Diddy and his alleged circles. Ray J quickly shut it down. He strongly defended both Jay-Z and Beyoncé, calling them respected figures and dismissing the accusations entirely. Looking back now, some people are starting to question that earlier moment. The last time Ray J defended someone with that kind of intensity, it was Diddy, and we all know how that situation eventually unfolded. Because of that, some are asking whether that loyalty was genuine or if there was something deeper behind it, with Diddy now facing serious issues. The narrative online suggests Ray J may be shifting. Instead of defending, has now being linked to claims that feel more like exposure, and those claims are only getting more intense. Some conversations circulating online suggest that Jay-Z's private life might not fully align with his public image. There are even insiders who say Thieve witnessed questionable behavior, though they avoid naming specific people, noting that many involved have moved on and built their own lives. That's what's making people pause, because these aren't just random posts anymore. They are being framed as first-hand experiences.
Thank you. I love you, Brandon! This award means so much to me, especially on the night before Michael Jackson's birthday. He had such a huge influence on me, Gaga, and our next performer, Beyonce. Beyonce and I started out around the same time, and just like all of her fans, I fell in love with her. The first time I saw her, from her singing to dancing to acting, she can do it all. She's a triple threat and one of the most talented people I've ever seen.
I've had the privilege of being around her gift and knowing what an incredible artist and kind woman she is. Beyonce is a beautiful soul. There's nobody like Beyonce.
In one of his earlier videos, Jonathan Hay actually walked part of the story back. He admitted that the old rumor about Jay-Z and Rihanna dating in 2004 wasn't real, claiming it was intentionally created to promote Rihanna's breakout single. The goal, he said, was simple: generate buzz, get people talking, and push the music. But according to him, things went further than expected. He claimed that law enforcement reportedly looking into unrelated matters involving Jay-Z ended up questioning him about that same rumor. Because of that, he said he had to be extremely careful about what he shared afterward. What started as marketing allegedly spiraled into something much bigger. Reports suggest the rumor didn't just stay in headlines, it may have affected real relationships. Some say it even led to a temporary split between Jay-Z and Beyoncé, with Beyoncé wanting distance from anything that looked messy, especially given Rihanna's young age at the time. Even Jonathan later admitted they were all young then, acknowledging how risky the situation was. Despite that, he didn't fully step back. In another video, he doubled down on broader claims about the Carters. According to what's being circulated, he suggested that certain behaviors tied to Jay-Z were already known behind the scenes, comparing him to other controversial figures and implying this wasn't new information within industry circles. He went further, making serious allegations about Jay-Z's personal life and claiming that some of these dynamics were openly known in the industry. He also described alleged private gatherings that, according to him, involved recognizable names rather than unknown individuals. One of the names he mentioned was Ray J, suggesting he had been present in certain situations long before any of this became public. To be clear, none of these claims have been backed by solid evidence. Everything being discussed falls into speculation, and it's important to keep that in mind. Still, some fans believe these rumors could explain Ray J's long history of defending the Carters, especially Beyoncé, even when it didn't always make sense from the outside. Online people are now reinterpreting his behavior. Some describe him as deeply connected within Hollywood circles, constantly moving in those spaces. Others say they always found his loyalty unusual. But
let's talk about Rihanna. And I don't sign songs, I sign artists.
I'd like to thank Jay-Z for being a part of this record with me.
She'd like to thank Jigga Man for being the greatest in the world.
now given these new claims, they feel like certain pieces are starting to connect. Meanwhile, the story involving Rihanna and Jay-Z goes even deeper. For years, the public narrative was simple. Rihanna was the talented newcomer from Barbados. Jay-Z was the mentor who helped launch her career, and Chris Brown became the figure tied to later controversy. That version dominated headlines, interviews, and the industry itself. But now Jaguar Wright is challenging that narrative entirely. According to her, the real story is far more complex. She claims Rihanna wasn't just caught in the middle but was part of a much larger system, one that started long before fame behind closed doors. The version being retold begins with a very young Rihanna arriving in New York from Barbados, alone and far from home. No family, no safety net, just a teenager sitting across from someone with the power to shape her future. According to these claims, that moment wasn't just opportunity, it was pressure. Rihanna has spoken about that time before, describing it as part of her early journey, but now some listeners say the tone feels different when revisited, pointing to nerves, fear, and a sense of being in a situation she couldn't easily walk away from. What adds to the controversy is how Jay-Z later described that meeting. He reportedly said he didn't let her leave until she signed. Today, some interpret that comment differently, not as determination but as control, blurring the line between mentorship and pressure. According to these claims, what followed wasn't celebration, but emotional strain. There are reports suggesting Rihanna struggled to sleep in the days after, not from excitement but from how overwhelming the Then people started revisiting Rihanna's own words from an old interview, and suddenly it didn't feel as simple as it once did. She had described her first meeting with Jay-Z as nerve-wracking, saying she was shaking the entire time walking into the room. She tried to take everything in, describing the atmosphere as warm and welcoming, like a dream moment for someone chasing a music career. She performed Ponder Replay and another track, giving it everything she had, but there was one part of her story that stuck with people. According to her, Jay-Z made it clear they weren't just there to listen, they were there to sign artists. Then he reportedly added something that years later is being interpreted very differently as the story is now being retold. He told her there were only two ways out of that room: either she left with a deal or she didn't leave the normal way. Considering they were on the 29th floor, that detail is what's making people pause today. That moment, according to this narrative, marked a turning point from there. Rihanna's life changed rapidly, pulled into industry spaces she may not have been fully prepared for. The version being shared online suggests that the same people meant to guide her also shaped the direction of everything around her, while anyone who questioned it allegedly faded into the background. Even major milestones like her early award show appearances are now being re-examined. Some claim those moments weren't just celebrations but tightly managed situations with Jay-Z closely involved behind the scenes, and that's where the question begins: was it mentorship or something more controlling? Jaguar Wright takes the claims even further, suggesting that Rihanna eventually adapted to that environment as a way to survive. According to what's being said, she learned how the system worked and adjusted to it. But the bigger claim is that this pattern didn't start with her, it's something that has allegedly existed in the industry for years. Then another name enters the conversation: Beyoncé. Jaguar claims Beyoncé has long been aware of how things operate behind the scenes, the power structures, the influence, and the decision-making. The narrative being pushed is that she chose not to speak on it, not out of fear but out of loyalty to the empire Thebe built. Now people are starting to question that long-standing image, wondering if there's more beneath the surface than what has always been presented. Then Jaguar Wright laid out what she claims is a long-running Paterna timeline that, according to her, stretches back years. She argues that this didn't begin with Rihanna, pointing instead to earlier artists and suggesting the same cycle repeated itself: young talent, similar situations, and the same kind of control, just with different faces over time. She also brought up Aaliyah, alleging there were moments where boundaries were crossed, and that saying no in those
that night, we didn't let her leave the office. Really? The 3 a.m. was when that contract got signed. So from the meeting around 3, 4 in the afternoon, we signed it by 3 a.m. Wow. That day, I was absolutely certain.
How often does that happen? I mean, that's
not often.
That's unheard of, right?
That's not, yeah. I mean, to get lawyers to draft up contracts and then the other side to agree to contracts in 10 hours that's retarded.
Environments came with consequences. In her version of events, none of this was accidental. She frames it as something Calculated from there, the conversation shifts to industry insiders. Jonathan Hay once again comes up as someone who has spoken publicly about what he claims to have seen behind the scenes. Even Dame Dash, who was once closely tied to Jay-Z, gets pulled into the discussion, with some suggesting he distanced himself after witnessing enough the way this narrative is being framed. Supporters say these aren't just random rumor-style stories coming from people who were allegedly in those rooms, and once again Beyoncé's name enters the conversation. Jaguar claims Beyoncé didn't step away but instead remained and benefited.
Really good audition. Yes. But before I met him, I was so nervous. I was shaking literally. But the moment I walked into the office, the atmosphere was so warm and welcoming. And you had to sing a cappella for him? Yes, I had to sing. I sang Fun to Replay. I sang another ballad from the album last time. So then what did he say to you? He said something to you. Oh yes, he said, we don't sing songs here, we sing artists. And there was this little pause, and I was nervous. But then he said, and we're interested. And there was this sudden feel of...
As everything grew according to that narrative, the brand became stronger over time, and she chose to protect that image rather than challenge what may have been happening behind the scenes. Jaguar also suggests that the system itself was designed to discourage people from speaking out. She even pointed to Rihanna's Super Bowl performance, claiming certain gestures weren't random but subtle signals meant for those who understood what was
relief. But then he said something about a window and a door or something. Oh, then he said, he did it homework. I did a lot of homework on you, this lady. He said, there are two ways to leave here, either through the door with the deal signed or through this window, and we're on the 29th floor. So you was like, where's the pen? Here's the paper. I'm signing.
Was really going on. These interpretations remain highly speculative. At the same time, an older clip of Rihanna resurfaced, adding more context to her early journey. She spoke about meeting a producer in Barbados while on vacation after being introduced through a friend. That meeting led to her recording in a hotel room, followed by studio sessions and eventually a demo. After about a year of work, she recalled how intense that period was, describing herself as extremely nervous, barely able to stop shaking, and calling
Jay-Z's career. You can look at that and say the association to Beyonce is when he started to receive the 16, 17 Grammys since he's been with Beyonce, right? And you go prior to that, one.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So that came in association, like you see their kids even have Grammys. Like they don't sing yet. They don't sing. Right. They don't rap yet. And they already have Grammys and shit. So it's like they give them this trophy so we secure that they're coming to the award show. It meant that much to the culture that they just gave them the things.
One of the longest and most overwhelming experiences of her early career. Jaguar Wright then circles back to that same energy people believe they noticed years later during Rihanna's Super Bowl performance. According to how the story is now being retold online, some viewers think Rihanna's movements weren't...
Dad, I know I promised you I'm gonna give you my first Grammy. Have to fight for this one.
She said, want to thank everybody for her first Grammy.
Anyway, I'd like to thank Jay-Z for being a part of this record with me.
She'd like to thank Jigga Man for being the greatest in the world.
Tricky Dream for writing such a beautiful record. Thank you.
Random, they point to moments where she appeared to glance toward Jay-Z's section before making certain gestures. Through this lens, what once looked like a normal performance now feels different to some. Not admiration, but something more deliberate. According to Jaguar's claims, it goes even deeper. She suggests that both Rihanna and Beyoncé were never truly operating as equals, but as part of something bigger, an empire where every appearance, statement, and move was carefully managed to protect a powerful image. The narrative being pushed becomes even darker, claiming that behind the scenes both women were shaped by the same system. They were part of. The idea is that they weren't just navigating the industry, they were molded by it, taught how to protect it, and ultimately tied to it in ways the public may never fully understand. And that's the part that really makes people stop and think, because if any of this holds weight, then it's no longer just about...
Okay.
The girl went to court and charged her with extreme witchcraft. She was hypnotized. She was... Beyonce came and she was in there eating on her and while she was asleep. No snacking on his big people cats. And guess what? They wouldn't give her a restraining order. They just told her to stay away from Beyonce and work for somebody else. Guess what? She's having a hard time finding
Fame
work
or
too.
influence seat raises questions about how even the biggest names in the world could be caught inside something much larger than themselves. So now the question becomes, what do you actually believe? Is Ray J finally telling the truth after all these years, or is this just another wave of Hollywood chaos fueling speculation? And even if
Grammy goes to, even if it's not you, Beyonce, I might just say this. Not like us, Kendrick Lamar.
Look, when Jay signed his contract, the big one was with Beyonce. When he signed that contract, the marriage contract, he got trophies. No, those trophies. Those trophies came rolling in, buddy. He started getting Grammys left and right, man. I mean, look, if you look at his career,
This guy. We're gonna let him say that. Jay was getting Grammys.
he had one.
Exactly.
He had
And
one.
he ain't show up.
He has like 20 now.
Hold on.
He had like 18 since he been down. Look, he had one, bro. Hard Knock Life.
Hold on. You're not wrong.
He was one. At the same time, he got them shits. He's like drinking. His pictures with him like get things to cop.
only part of these claims are real. How deep does it really go? One thing is certain, this story isn't over yet. What do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you want more breakdowns like this, make sure you subscribe and stay locked in, because the next story might.
When he did the record with Jay, that's why I was that was almost like one of the things where I was just like, he's out of here, Jake. I just let it go because I couldn't believe he did a project with her, with R. Kelly, knowing that a girl.
You know, I've known Puff for 30 years. I haven't been to any one of his parties, especially on the LA side, you know, not even in probably 20 years. So that was the 4th of July, and that's when he was with Jennifer Lopez. He had a barbecue. You know, we were all staying in one house, me, Aaliyah, Jay, a couple of friends. That night, no one knew who Aaliyah was with, and that's how we wanted it. You know, because at the time, her and I, you know, we hadn't like actually gone there like that yet, and you know, me and Homeboy was both trying, so no one knew who was messing with who. And you know, that night we left early. I left with Aaliyah, and that's the night that the magic happened with Aaliyah and I. So that was a magic.